Welcome to the Love Fairy, where I'm granting admission to love. This channel will focus on love, relationships, dating, and marriages. If you are as consumed in love as I am, please subscribe right now and turn on your notifications. If at any moment you are enjoying my video, please give it a thumbs up. Here's a little background on myself. I'm married to my middle school sweetheart. We've been married for 8 years. I have a master's in psychology and I believe in love at first sight. So, welcome and let's begin. Today we are discussing Bridgerton, Season 1, Episode 1. If you have not watched episode 1, please pause this and go watch it and come back because I'm going to reveal a lot about the episode. Okay, so it starts off with the introducing the marriage market, and it is for marriage minded misses who are presented to the queen, and they state that only the queen's eye matters. So basically the women enters the room and the queen would decide who's the hotcakes, like who's going to be the most desired by the gentleman. And the young woman who is chosen by the queen is Daphne. And it's a lot of pressure because Daphne is the oldest of her three sisters. Well, two sisters is three girls, and they are the Bridgertons. The show is named after her family. That's their last name. And Daphne's success on the marriage mart influences her sister's prospects. So it's very important for these young ladies to secure a match, and they do so by getting these fancy dresses and doing their hair, getting glammed up. And they go to these balls, and these gentlemen have to select who they want to dance with. And after they dance the night away, the following morning, the gentlemen line up to you know, the the Mrs. House who they are most interested in. And that part I really, really like because I think that we need to, get young guys to get back interested into showing that they're interested into the woman and not necessarily the woman having to too much show that she's the one interested in the man. But as Daphne is attending this ball, her oldest brother takes on the responsibility of her deceased father, and he just basically guides her through the several gentlemen, and he lets her know who's good and who's not good and who she should be interested in and who she shouldn't be interested in. But mostly he says no, no, no to most of the guys. But um, the main thing that I want to talk about today is what it is to be a woman. That is something that Daphne stated on season 1, episode 1, and that really caught my attention because she followed with saying what it feels like to have one's entire life reduced to a single moment. And it's just weird to know that her future depends on being selected by a man. Like, what? Who gives a man that much power? And then she says, "This is all I am. I have no other value. If I'm unable to find a husband, I'm worthless." And that's how it is in that timepiece. And even though we're in 2021 today, I think that it's still like that. Women feel worthless when they can't find a husband when really your husband is supposed to find you. And I just think that is just too much pressure. It's like, if you find your one, it should come naturally. Your one should come naturally. The bond should form naturally. And two, I think that people are too focused on finding a one when really they need to secure a friendship, because you want to be with someone that you enjoy. You want to be with someone that if you have to go into quarantine, you're not going to lose your mind. You're going to actually enjoy that time with your spouse. And um, I think that women and men are fixated on, what the partner can offer financially. And that shouldn't really determine if that person should be your spouse or not. And in the episode one, Daphne attends this ball, and her brother, he tells her like, no, this guy that, and it gets to the point where he cancels all the guys that could possibly be interested in Daphne. So she's left with this creepy Nigel Lord Burbrook, and um, finally her brother's like, you know, Nigel is the one. Like, he's the one you're gonna marry. He has a legitimate lineage, and he has excellent education, and he has no debt, and he never hurt an animal or a woman, and he doesn't even consider Daphne's desires or her wants or what she's thinking or how she's feeling, and she's just so not interested in this creepy guy. And her brother's like, he looks good on paper, basically. And today, how many women do you know do that? They're like, okay, I want to be with him because he looks good on paper. And that's not it. You don't marry someone, and someone is not worthy of marriage because they look good on paper. That's so irrelevant. And once the guy Nigel, secured that deal with Daphne's oldest brother, he put pressure on her. He comes on to her. He's like really strong. And at one point, he says to her, I'm your last hope. Like, who heard that before? He tells her, no one wants you. And Daphne is like, what? Like, I don't want you. Like, at that point, she rather not be married than to be married to him. And so, I'm not gonna say like the details exactly what happened, but the Duke arrived, and the Duke character is very interesting because he states and he makes it very clear that he doesn't want to get married and he will not get married, and it's okay. Whereas Daphne feels her life will be worthless if she doesn't get married. And that's a double standard that still applies today. Like, men could be bachelors their entire lives and it's okay. Whereas if the woman never gets married, it's like, what's wrong with her? Why aren't you married? Why haven't anyone selected to marry you? And really, it's not the woman's fault. There's no responsibility on the woman. The woman seriously has to be chosen, and if she never is, it's okay. A man does not determine the value of a woman, but that happens in Bridgerton. The Duke decides to, do this little thing with Daphne, and they pretend to be interested in one another. So all of a sudden, because the Duke is involved and Daphne's level of interest increases, I mean, it skyrockets through the roof. And um, it's sad to see that a woman's value is determined by the interest of one man. Because this one man wants her, and now she's hotcakes, like the queen stated at the beginning. And that's ugly. That's ugly for a man to have that much power and that much value that his interest increases the value of a woman. If that's not funny, I don't know what is. Because we're everything. We're the ones that make houses homes. We're the ones that bear children to create a family. We're the ones that, keep everything solid. We're everything all in one. We're nurses, we're teachers, we're mommies, we're wives, we're psychologists, you know? And just because we're the woman. I mean, there's some instances when the father steps up and he's all of the above because the mom isn't present in unfortunate cases, but mostly it falls on the lap of a woman. And to know that um, the woman's value is as worthy as the men interest in her, I don't know, it's pretty strange, but I think it's still like that today. And this entire show is just so interesting, and the marriage market is so interesting, and all of it is just, it really caught my attention. But I'm going to continue watching, and I'm going to come back with episode 2. And I want to discuss it with you. Like, please comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you agree with. Let me know what you don't agree with. I am so interested. I am so into this show. I'm so into love. And, I'll be back with another one. Thank you for listening.